Cute as a cupcake. Where the cupcakes are more than just cute, they're delicious. Cute as a Cupcake is now available nationwide. Get them delivered to your front door. Go to www.cuteasacupcake3.com. Yes, that's www.cuteasacupcake3.com and order your cupcakes today. Like I say, they're more than just cute, they're delicious. Good afternoon, and welcome to the 800 Credit Score Man Show. I am your host, Kevin King. He is I, and I am him, the 800 Credit Score Man himself. And once again, thank each and every one of you for coming in and listening to the 800 Credit Score Man Show. I truly, truly appreciate it. Hey, so look, just 1 week away from the anniversary show. So next week, we are going to celebrate 4 years on the air, the 800 Credit Score Man Show. So come back next week, check out next week's show, do a recap over the 4 years, of course. Of course, we're going to give you some credit info that'll help increase your credit scores. What do we always say? You increase your credit scores, you lower the interest that you pay, and that means it saves you money. So, yep, we're going to do that next week. So, once again, thank you guys for coming in and listening to the 800 Credit Score Man Show. Today, we're going to talk about some hacks. So we're going to talk about some hacks, some credit hacks to help you with your credit score increases is what's on deck for today. Now, before we get there, I've got to give a big shout out. So let me give this big shout out. My father, Robert Lee King Sr., that's your whole government name, Daddy. My father's birthday is going to be on Tuesday. Always Memorial Day weekend, so it's always something big and something good for my dad, always getting together. So I want to say happy birthday to you, Pops. I would not be here without you. Me, my brother, my sister, we wouldn't be here, and you're such a wonderful man and a God-fearing man, and thank you so very much for all of your hard work to help raise me and my siblings to be the best that we could be. I truly would not be the person that I am without you. So, Pops, I love you, and happy birthday to you. All right, so still I got to do some shout-outs, all right? I've been saving them for late, but it's some special stuff going on, right? Graduates. People are graduating. I don't care if it's kindergarten or 5th or 6th grade or 8th grade or high school or college. You're getting your PhDs and whatnot, but happy graduation to all of the graduates out there. Congratulations. Even though it didn't turn out, the ceremony, the way that you envisioned when you were going to graduate, it doesn't do anything to take away the accomplishments that you did graduate. So congratulations to all of the graduates out there. And we family here, right? So our very own Carter King. Yes, Carter, congratulations, son. Graduated from kindergarten. My man, I'm so proud of you. So congratulations to all the graduates out there. Miles King graduated from high school. Brianna Bradley, Cherry Harris, Aiden Robinson, Aaron Durham, Amaya Davis all graduated from high school, and Taylor Bailey graduated from college. So congratulations to all of you guys. So let's jump into the show. All right, so we're going to talk about some hacks, right? So we're going to talk about credit hacks today. So the first one I want to talk to you about is in regard to disputes. So yes, if you dispute something, and you should know that when you file a dispute, you need to do it with all 3 credit bureaus, or whichever credit bureau that particular item that you're filing a dispute on is on. So it's possible that you have an issue on one credit bureau but not the other 2, or on 2 and not the 3rd credit bureau. Of course, the credit bureaus are TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. So you have to file a dispute on each and every one of them individually. These bureaus are individual companies, so you must do that. But if you're going to file a dispute, this is something, a little hack, a little known hack, if you will. And it may not even be as prevalent as it once was. However, so when you file a dispute, It may not necessarily disappear from your credit report when you file a dispute. Sometimes it actually does. They literally remove it from your credit report because you filed a dispute. So no, not if you go look at, like Credit Karma, Credit Sesame, or something like that. But if a lender was looking at it, that dispute may not appear at all on your credit report while you're disputing it. So it could still be there, but sometimes it's totally removed until they finish their investigation. And of course, they get 30 days to do it. If you file your dispute online, they get 35 days if you send in a letter. And because we're going through this whole COVID-19 situation right now, they're giving them leeway, and so they're giving them up to 45 days for this. So here's the thing, what happens. So, and it's removed from your credit report, maybe not even on there, but even if it isn't, when you file a dispute, and this used to be the case, when you file a dispute, while it's in dispute and they're investigating, then it's quote unquote removed from your credit score. So you might see a bump in your credit score once you file a dispute and it's received and accepted by the credit bureau. You might see a little bump in there because they're going to take that out of your credit score for the time being until that dispute is over. Now, if the dispute comes back in your favor, then great, you good, you got your bump, everything's gravy. But then if it comes back and it says that it actually is your issue, then it's going to be placed back on your credit report, and that score is going to go back to the score that it was before, or it'll go down. It may not even go back to the same number of points or what have you, but it'll go down. So that's one hack that you can definitely look forward to, and you should be able to manipulate some things. Now here's a couple of caveats. Mortgage companies absolutely care about this. So back in the day, before mortgage companies got savvy or, too much credit information came out, but some people actually knew this. It was something that you could do. You file a dispute, then it technically comes off your credit report and your credit score goes up. So people would do that, and then they would put in an application for a mortgage. So then their credit scores would be falsely high, if you will. So mortgage companies, most of them, the majority of them, and especially since they really dig into your credit, it's not like you submit an application and then you're totally 100% approved all in one day. And they're looking at it and really paying attention to everything that's going on with your credit and your entire financial life. So since they have your file for a long time, mortgage companies are they're keen to this. They know what's going on. They know that that's, at least at one point in time, it was like a big thing that people would do. So they are on the lookout for this. So they are, I'm gonna call them sophisticated enough to be like, okay, this person filed a dispute, so we know some points are out. So they may even on their own, reduce your credit score a little bit, just to counteract that. So they are highly, highly aware of this, and they care about it. Let me tell you who does not care about it. Auto financing, they don't care. So if you're borderline, far as I'm gonna get approved or not, or if you're borderline going from fair credit to good credit, or good credit to excellent credit, and you're borderline and you had a dispute and you had filed a dispute, and it was a few days, maybe a week or so, prior to you going in to get your auto financing, because they're approving basically on the spot or in the same day at least, right? And a lot of these things happen on the weekend where companies may not be open, might not be 20 live people looking at credit reports, and might be a system or just a skeleton crew. Oftentimes they don't care about this whole dispute thing. They may not even know that this whole dispute hack even exists. So if you are if you are looking for a vehicle, something of that nature, this might be something that can jump you a couple of points. So pay attention and listen to that. Another place that doesn't care about this are like furniture places and jewelry stores. You're going in, you're going to get that credit card. They don't care. They do not care. They just want to make sure that you get approved. So they don't care about you have a dispute. They're going to approve you. What do they say? Fast approval. You get approval while you're standing there at the register. So they don't have time for all this digging and seeing whatever. They're looking when they get your application. Is it complete? What's the credit score? Does the address on the ID match the address that's on this application? Those simple things they're looking for in them for themselves, and then they're approving you. Now you got a bump because you filed a dispute and it's no longer hurting your credit score, at least not at this point. That's a hack for you. That is a very good hack for you. So just keep in mind, when it comes to a mortgage company, this absolutely isn't going to help. A mortgage company would rather wait out the dispute than to go ahead and just take your credit score at face value. But when it comes to auto financing and furniture financing and jewelry, and if you go to Best Buy or whatever and you're buying some kind of electronic or whatever, those places are not as concerned about these things. So keep that in mind as one of your hacks. All of the things that I'm telling you today, you can absolutely use to your advantage. All right. So that's hack number 1 that I wanted to tell you guys about. Hack number 2 has to be authorized user. Now, this is one of my favorite things. You're probably tired of hearing about it, but I'm telling you, it's one of the best things that you can do. If you've got a friend, a family member, a boo, or a spouse, whatever it is that has just one good credit card, they don't even have to have great credit. They can have a 550, but they got that one credit card that is, 10 years old, 20 years old. Hell, it could even be 4 years old. They've got this credit card that they have never been late on. They don't max it out. It has a good credit utilization optimally. And you can get added to that particular credit card as an authorized user. That is one of the best things that can happen for you. And here's what happens when you become an authorized user. 1, you don't get an inquiry. So it doesn't take any points away from you. When they call up that 800 number on the back of the credit card and say, yep, I want to add Joe Smith to my credit card, you get a card in your name. And as the person that is granting you this great gift of being an authorized user, frankly, they don't have to give you the card. Like, personally, I would not give out a card if I was just doing it randomly to help somebody with their credit. I wouldn't give them the card, right? So that's what you do. And then you get the benefit of all of those payments that they've made over the years. You get the benefit of their credit limit. You get the benefit of the credit utilization on it. And as the person that's jumping on the card, you're not financially obligated either. So let's say you're on somebody's credit card right now, and they're having an issue making payments because of COVID-19. They called up the credit card company and said, hey, I'm having an issue. Credit card company said, cool, we're going to suspend your interest. We're going to suspend your payments for the next 3 or 4 months or whatnot. Doesn't impact your credit at all. Say that they didn't call them and they just start skipping payments. That impacts your credit, but you can jump off of it, but you're not financially obligated to make those payments at all. Okay, so you have all of these benefits when it comes to being an authorized user, because you're going to help your length of history. If it's an older credit card, if it's older than whatever your length of history is, so your credit age, you're going to help that. That's 15% of your credit score. Payments. The payments are always going to be 100%. You don't want to jump on any card. I don't care if it's 98%. They just missed one payment and it was 5 years ago. You don't want to jump on that particular card, right? So you got that. You got your payment history, 35%. That's already 50% if you add those two together. Credit utilization, if it's great, if it's under 30% already, ideally, if it's under 10%, another 30% of your credit score jumps on board. And let's say you didn't have a credit card at all. If you didn't have a credit card at all, now you're on as an authorized user, but you did have, say, a car and a student loan. Now your mix is even better. That's another 10%, and you didn't even get dinged for having an inquiry. So all of those things are so extremely positive that it's one of the absolute best things. Like, if I had to rank these, or if I would have ranked these, authorized users is one of the biggest and best hacks there is out there when it comes to your credit. So I'm positive you don't have any questions about authorized users as much as I talk about them. But if you happen to have questions about it, contact me. Send me an email, 800@creditscoreman.com. That's 800@creditscoreman.com. Send me an email there, and we can hash it out. Okay, so let's jump into yet another hack. So I don't know about